I mean, this is Will, your host. I'm part of Major Investor. So without further ado, we'll get right into today's session. This is talking about how we, the SHIB community, can make it better for the whole world. How can we do that? Well, we'll get into the national debt. There's two ways of burning through the national debts. One is inflation. Their inflationary pressures increase the amount of lending to the national banks, therefore increasing your interest rates on your mortgages. Otherwise, increase tax that you have to pay. So the more tax you pay, the lower your increase your GDP. Increase your GDP, lower your deficit. Those are your two options. You see the manipulation that's going on here? This is a big lie, right? So if they're lying about this, God knows what they're lying about. Because if they can't even be honest with the national debt, I don't know what they're going to be able to do. 31 trillion, 26 trillion. You're making, you're burning, you're making. This is your burning, this is your making. You're spending, making. I don't know about you when you guys took economics back when you were in school, but you try and get a mortgage where you have to pay twice as much money than you make. Good luck, right? Unless it's in the 2006. And it was easy. You didn't even need a job to get a mortgage, which was ridiculous. But anyway, we won't even get into that. We'll say how can we burn, using SHIB, how can we help out the national debts? Okay, well, we can't help them all. Just alone, 31 trillion. U.S. would need to buy all SHIB, every single last dollar, every single last penny, every single last token would have to be bought by the U.S. government. Now, right now, the U.S. government could buy your token for this, 1,057. Now, how much would they have to spend to get all those tokens? I'm thinking probably around $12 billion. That's it. That's all they need to spend. $12 billion. How hard would it be to raise $12 billion? Let's see now. Nothing. Because they have no problem printing money. So they to print $12 billion to buy SHIB, a drop in the hat. Just like that. And then what would they do with it? Well, let me think about it for a second. Maybe they would burn it. 99.999. That's 5 nines, 999%. That would leave them with about 5.8 billion tokens left. Oh, but then what do they do with the tokens after they have all of them? Well, because they're non-governance and anyone in the world can buy them, gee, let me think what they would do with that. They would put it back on the market. But what would the price be? Well, I guarantee you it won't be this price. It will be probably around $1,200 per token. Well, that would mean it has a bigger market cap than Bitcoin. Yeah, it would. But who's going to buy it? The U.S. government is the one that declared it. So they're going to sell to anyone who wants to buy it. Now, they're going to go to the conglomerates first because they need the money. So Walmart, Shopify, Facebook, Meta, SpaceX, Tesla, all the ones that are suffering, BlackBerry, you name it, all of them are going to jump into this because they need that coin because it's going to go up every day. That means it's going to add wealth to them. Like us, we don't understand that concept because if we did, there's no way we would be under 28. 402800. We would not drop a dime under that. We would not even consider going under that because we know what the market valuation of SHIB is. Eventually, we will figure it out. We, the people behind SHIB will figure it out because if you don't, somebody else will, and you're going to get screwed out of your money. How? Because the governments are going to take over it. Because they have to pay off their national debt. They're in a crisis situation. Look at this. China's in actually pretty good shape. They're 17.3%, which is not quite true, right? They're almost at, I would say, 42%, not 17%. But anyway, they should be in the green because their GDP is 17 billion. But yeah, 17 billion, or no, 17 trillion. In the National Bank of US, which is in trouble, is only 93%. No, that's not right. That's over 100%. This number and this number do not coincide with each other. They're not the same as this. And then this one's lower. Look at Japan, 115%. That's a little bit, yeah, that's about right. Okay. Because there's 3 times more. Should be like 300%. But anyway, we'll talk about that. Right? They're in big trouble. They need a big bailout. $13 trillion. They need a lot of bailout from who? SHIB can help them in a big way, huge way. All they got to do is start accumulating the coin. They haven't caught on yet. No one's caught on. Thank God, right? You're still in it. You still understand what's going on. France can do it. Italy can do it in a heartbeat. Canada, different story. He likes to spend money before he thinks about how he's going to make it. So, people who spend, no problem. No problem. Belgium, another one. Greece, another country that's in trouble. Who else is in trouble? Mexico's in trouble too, but for some reason they got their gross domestic product at $1 trillion. I don't understand that one either. Okay, which one was it? Portugal. Even Russia. See, Russia's numbers they're not actual. Saudi Arabia's the only one that's doing fairly decent because of how high the oil prices are. If Trump was in power, it'd be the opposite, right? Um, but Trump was people for the people. People who couldn't afford it, he gave them the opportunity. He even brought in jobs to help them. So he kept everything in America. You want to do business in America? You better bring your business back to America. We used to have the same policy in Canada, but we hired a bunch of jabronis who didn't understand economics at all. I don't even know how they got out of college because they didn't take economics. And when you're part of the government, you should have economics as one of your forefronts of one of the things. And then you should have a whole bunch of people that are about the economy, and then don't fight them on it. Ask them their advice on it. Because if you don't ask them their advice on it, they're going to take advantage of it. And that's the bottom line. So, how do you pay off your deficit? There's 2 ways of doing it. You buy SHIB, you burn it. You put it back on the market at a fraction of what was left so that you can charge whatever you like. You can put on there whatever you like for that bill. So right now, we go with US because they'd have to buy them all. Japan would have to buy half of the supply, which is doable. And they would only have to spend about $7 billion to do it. $7 to $8 billion. Because like I said, there's 1.25 trillion investors right now that would sell it in a heartbeat to them if it got a big candlestick up to 15, 1600. It's gone. All of it's gone. And then they're crying because who's selling it? Come on, sell some back to me. No. And they withhold it. All the coins that they purchase, they withhold it. They burn it, and then they replace it back in the market. Or they take it on as currency. Now, if they take it on as currency, they have to accumulate more and more tokens because every time that someone burns it, they got to replenish it. Okay, so they got to buy and then burn, replenish, burn. It takes longer. The best thing to do is buy the coin, burn it, put it back on the market. Now, in order to do that, you have to buy all the tokens to do it because you need control. You don't need to buy them all, but you need to buy 90% of them, right? And if you can buy all 90%, then you're laughing because now you can manipulate it the way you want to manipulate it. You want to take over. So that's the bottom line with the currency. Now, the other way, you buy into it, you spend $7 billion, $8 billion, and then you put out cards. So Japan's actually a bad one to use because Japan would have to buy at least 50%, 60% of the tokens in order because they're down 3 times their GDP spending. So they would have to burn a crap load of it off and then put it back on the market. But they can't do that. If they only got half the coins, they would have to implement debit cards to the everybody. So all the major organizations would all get a debit card. All the major banks have to issue debit cards and SHIB. Everything would be transferred over from the Japanese yen down to SHIB. And then once they burn SHIB off enough, they would surrender the coin back? No. What they would do is they'd put the current all the SHIB tokens once they burn off 90% of their because when it gets down to 3 trillion, it's manageable. 2 trillion, it's manageable debt, right? They could burn it all off, wait till it's all burnt off, and then they can go back and toggle a little bit, and it would make their currency, their yen, would be stronger than everyone in the world right at that point. And that's the power of SHIB. Turn it around on a dime for people. Your company, all you got to do is buy SHIB, use your money, use their money to burn it. Now, here's how I'm doing it. Major aerial drone services, okay? Go in here, and it's got down here the channel. So this YouTube channel on the bottom shows you what Major Aerial Drone Services stands for. But it only gives you, it doesn't bring you into buildings. It doesn't, no. What it does do is it goes over the park, shows you the power of the drone. So when you're in there and you see the power of the drone, you're able to understand what's going on. So for construction purposes, they can take pictures of the structure, the windows, the door frames, the joists, the 10, where they're supposed to use 8 10-inch beams, and they only use 8. Goes back to the inspector. The inspector looks at that and says, no, that does not pass. That does not look like a 10, sir. Those joists look like they're 10s. They look like they're 8s. They're supposed to be 10s. Well, how can you tell without a measuring? It's got a 2x4 beside it, and it's double that, so it's an 8. That's how they know, right? If it's a 12, it's supposed to be a 12-inch, and it's a 10-inch. You look at it, you can see by the frame, by the joist, when it connects up, that it's not. And the same thing goes for the braces and the pins that they use. So if it doesn't have that bracket, it doesn't pass. Again, they never have to leave. The inspector never has to leave the office. He sees the picture that the drone pilot took a picture of it, sends it back to them and says, it doesn't pass, you need to do this. He didn't even leave the office to go and do it. He can do 20, 30, 40, 50 homes the exact same way with the drone and show them exactly step by step of all the stuff that they missed or that it's perfect. You can go on to the next level. Okay? You're now going into plumbing. Now you can cut the drywall, blah 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 blah. I'm 100% occur with the structural integrity. You can go ahead and do it, and they never stepped a foot in there. Cuts the cost of the inspectors, cuts the time down drastically in accordance with what the laws and statutes are for the codes and byproducts of those. So that's what Major Aerial Drone Services is about trying to save lives and cut cost. Okay, for our disclosure for the SHIB community, this is us giving back to the SHIB community, the disclaimer. As promised by the entire SHIB community, I'm going to charge an additional $5, not coming out of my pocket, coming out of the contracts. $5 for every contract, which I'm going to donate back to the SHIB community, $4.50 of the SHIB burn to the SHIB burn portal dead end wallets. So that is our promise to the SHIB community that we're going to collect the $5 and $4.50 of it's going into the burn wallet. Now we do that live. I'm keeping 50 cents for the purposes of administration, setting up this and taking time to post live the Major Investor YouTube channel Thank you for supporting SHIB and the SHIB cryptocurrency that is depleting supply of tokens. This is being done for the SHIB community. So therefore, once I have done this, and I asked you, what is the best exchange, the best security exchange that I can use to do this on, I will then show you the checks I get, the amount that I can burn, and the times I can burn them. And I'll put down here, right here will be the wallet. So that when you go over to the burn wallet, you'll see it right, one of these spots that'll have it. Then you'll know when you see the burn addresses, so that you'll know it's gone into the burn address. But also you'll see my address right here that says this went into the burn wallet. Which, by the way, they give you a warning saying that once you send your coins here, they're gone. There is no retraction whatsoever. And that is a Ethereum wallet. So when it goes in there, it is gone. There's not a thing you can do about it. It's turfed. Okay, so when you send your coins in there, and hopefully they're a circulating supply, not your holdings. I talked about your holdings before. If you burn your holdings, you are not helping the SHIB community whatsoever. You may think you're helping them, but you're not. Because those are being held for a later date so that you can make money. So you can make money. So what is this about? You making money. How do you make money? You make money by selling high. There's certain exchanges you can short apparently, but SHIB is worthless. It's under a cent. So please take that in with a grain of salt, right? And again, if I want to get into the disclaimer, this is the disclaimer. Everything you hear on this channel, I am not your broker. I'm not your analyst. I am just a guy talking to you about SHIB. So I'm no analyst, I'm no broker. I'm just a guy talking to you about SHIB, what you can do, and I'm trying to give you enough education so that you can make your own decisions on what you want to do. But for the cost of $11 USDT, I think you're letting it slip by. But that is not legal, binding agreement between you and I. You do what you want, but $11, you can't come after me for $11. If everybody came after everybody for $11, guess what? Nothing would ever happen. 400 million of us buy 1 million. That would be ideal, because then the target price for SHIB would be $1 to $2, $3. That would be ideal. They said that the market capitalization. I got news for you. You take 589 trillion and you divide it by 1 million. How many millions do you got? 589 million people buying 1 million SHIB. Is not even 1% of the world's population, guys. Not even 1%. So they can say whatever they like about market cap. Okay, and you're letting it get ahead of yourself. Be like, yeah, okay, but if I burn it, it's different. Yeah, of course, because then you're lowering the supply. I see, I get it, right? But it's the exact same concept. What you're doing is you're taking away from everybody being able to spend it, basically, and everybody being able to buy it because you're driving the price up. Anyway, wanted to get into the worldwide debt. We did that. The worldwide debt, that's how you get it done. And I wish you all the best of luck, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. I hope that you guys take care and have a great evening. I hope that this was informative in some way, shape, or form to you. And if it was, give me a like and a smash. And make sure you give me a comment. The channel's free, guys. Doesn't cost you anything to like, subscribe, come back to me. If you don't like it, make sure you tell me so I can change it. I can do some things with it. We can talk back and forth and see what we can come up with. I want an exchange we can exchange on that's not going to be detrimental, that it won't collapse on us. Because I don't want to have to go back out and find another useful exchange to start trading it and burning SHIB at the same time. So I would like for us as a community to get together, talk about it. If not, we're going to be lost in translation, and I don't want that. So without further ado, I'm going to call it night. I'm going to wish you all God bless. live long and prosper, each and every one of you. And I want to thank every single person for coming out. And Jesus is King, always will be, always is. Uh, this is only a helpful tool that Jesus has shown me the way, so I can show you the way. And then you understand the power of SHIB. It can save people's lives, not necessarily, but it will save jobs. It will save jobs as long as we stop the countries from buying it. But we can't stop them unless the price is low. Get the price higher, it prevents them from doing it. It still can do it. Don't get me wrong. They can still do it. It's just harder for them to do it. That's the bottom line. Anyway, peace. Love yous all. And take good care of yourselves. Wishing you all the very best on the 26th of March 2023. And make this the best year ever for SHIB and for the SHIB community. So that we can come together, find a solution. Because the SHIB development team only use SHIB to build their ecosystem on. They have very little control of SHIB. They gave it to the holders. You and me are responsible for SHIB. So if you don't like SHIB, you let yourself down, get out of it. Don't bother with SHIB anymore because you are the SHIB army, you're the SHIB community, you're the investor, you have all the say over SHIB. So as long as you're in it, you have a say in it. And it's your company, what do you want out of it? That's the bottom line. What do you want out of it? What do you want to see? Stop dreaming about it. Let's make it happen today. Thank you. God bless and take care. Peace out, people. Thank you. Thank you.